This morning, there's that little nip of fall in the air. We can start to see the gardens. Any of you who are gardeners, the gardens are all starting to kind of dwindle a little bit, and it's nice to put on something with some weight to it before we go outside. So I just wanted to mention in yoga during the season changes, yoga reminds us that we need to kind of adapt to those changes even a little bit before they happen. So before the cool weather gets here, what's recommended in this kind of weather is wearing a little scarf or a little something around your neck when you go outside, because a lot of times in Chinese medicine and Indian medicine, they say that the entry point for pathogens is through the neck. So, colds and things like that, if you just have a little something draped around your neck, can be really comforting. I know for me, one of the things I really like, and it's kind of fashionable now, are hoodies, like the little sweatshirts that kind of lightweight with a little hood on it. I can just kind of flip that hood up if I get too chilly, and if not, I can just kind of tuck it in around my neck. So I've been kind of liking those recently. So I just thought I would mention that to you. In addition, we're going to do some breathing, which we have been doing all summer, but also we're going to move into something with a little bit more vigorousness to our practice to kind of heat things up. So with that, I'm going to invite you to come right up to the front edge of your chair and let your hands rest on your lap somewhere. You can have your hands together or apart, it's completely up to you. And notice if you're leaning forward a little bit or if you're leaning back a little bit, if you're a little tilted on your chair. See if you can find that balance point. So that means noticing where your sitting bones are. And then if you're not sure, you can kind of reach under yourself and see if you can feel those two bones. It's a couple of bony protuberances down there. It's at the bottom of your pelvis. And those are called your sitting bones. So you're just going to plant your sitting bones so that you feel equal weight between the right side and the left side, and then maybe slightly shifting your weight back a little bit. Now notice your head and your neck. Do you tend to have your chin kind of lifted a little bit so that the back of your neck stays short? See if you can tuck that in a little bit. Try and make your neck long, not just in the front, but in the back as well. And then notice your breathing. Notice if in all of this adjustment, you've lost your connection to your breath. So just kind of notice what your breath is like this morning. Is it moving in and out freely between the right side and the left side of your nose? And in yoga, we breathe in and out through the nose, if at all possible. If it's difficult, challenging to use that breathing pattern, then breathing in through your nose, and you can blow out through pursed lips like you're blowing out a candle. That helps kind of get the carbon dioxide out of your lungs a little bit more easily for folks who have some challenges. So now that you've noticed your breathing, you've kind of noticed your posture a little bit, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes if you haven't done that already. And let's come into deeper connection with the breath this morning. As you inhale, feel your body expand as if it were an empty balloon. And as you exhale, feel your body contract like a balloon that's letting out the air. So again, just breathing in as if you were filling an empty balloon, and breathing out as if you were letting the air out of that balloon. And let your breaths get longer, slower, and deeper. And we're going to add a count to the breath to kind of help facilitate that. So with each inhalation and exhalation, you're going to do each of those to a slow count of 4. So as you breathe in, slowly count to 4 in your head. And as you breathe out, again, slowly count to 4 in your head. And it may take several rounds of breath to get to that magic number 4, but do the best you can. And by slowing the breath down, we attract the attention of the mind, because the mind is very interested in all of this counting and breathing and all of these things that we give it to do. The second thing is, by slowly breathing, you start to stimulate something called the relaxation response. And what that relaxation response does is it helps you to reduce your stress level, can reduce your heart rate, your blood pressure. It helps you digest better, because when you're relaxed, that's when your body feels comfortable to digest. If you're stressed, your body is too busy with other things. It doesn't have time for digestion. That's why people who are stressed quite often have tummy issues. Heartburn, indigestion, irritable bowel, can be constipated, lots of different things that affect our digestion. So breathing into 4, breathing out to 4. Noticing the temperature of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. Relaxing the muscles around your eyes, your mouth, relaxing your face. Feel your shoulders, your neck, your jaw relax as you're breathing into 4 and out to 4. And after your next exhalation, using this counting of the breath, after your next exhalation, just let go of all this breath control. Go back to your natural rhythm. Let the air move in and out on its own. You don't have to count. You don't have to make it any deeper, any slower. And then you can let your eyes gently drift open. And just notice if there's a different sense of awareness in your body right now. So this is another benefit of breathing, of this conscious, deep conscious breathing, is that we come into the present moment. You know, we often live in the future or the past, right? We're thinking about what we need to do, or we're kind of reviewing what's already happened, and we don't allow ourselves to be fully here. So when we do breathing practices like that, where we're slowing down the breath, we're counting the breath, we actually come right into the present moment. We can experience things when we're present that we can't experience if we're living in the future or living in the past. So let's shift gears into a little bit of a physical practice now. So I'm going to ask you to extend both of your legs, have your knees nice and straight, and lift your toes up toward the ceiling. Now, as you do this, press into your sitting bones. So you might need to adjust where you are in your chair. You might need to come farther forward or a little farther back. You want to press into your sitting bones, pull your belly in a little bit, and bring your head skyward. So you're lifting right up. And then we're going to squeeze and extend the toes. So all those toes, breathing in and breathing out. And as you're squeezing and extending your toes, just have a look at all those little toes and see what they're doing. Are they all moving the same way? That's one thing you can ask yourself. Or are they doing kind of their own thing? So some of the toes are going to do their own thing. Some of them are going to work with the ones next to them. Maybe they're independent. And the next time that you have your toes extended, so reaching up toward your shins, you're going to hold there and then spread them as wide as you can. Spread your toes as wide as you can. Now see if you can keep your toes like this and keep your feet really engaged, your leg muscles engaged. And we're going to take the right foot and point and flex the right foot. So we still have that left leg extended. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. So we're tapping the toes, tapping the heel, kind of alternately doing that. And then the next time you have your heel on the floor, lift the toes toward the shin and let's go to the left side. So we're doing the same thing over here. Breathing in and breathing out. And notice, don't let that right leg become disengaged. So keep that right leg really active here. And then the next time that that heel is on the floor on the left side, we're going to hold here, lift your right and circle around. Keep that left leg active and engaged. So we're doing two things simultaneously, right? So in reverse direction on that right side. So we're working the right side, we're moving it, and then we're keeping that left side really still. And breathing all at the same time, by the way. And then let's bring that heel down to the floor. Let's go to the other side, and we're going to point and flex and circle around. Good, and reverse. Great, and then bring that heel down to the floor. Now bend both knees, bring your feet under a little bit. So sit up nice and tall. We're going to take this right leg. We're going to start with the right leg, and we're going to just extend and then bend that knee. So breathe in and breathe out. As you extend, really engage the muscles here in the top part of the leg, in the thigh. Those are your quadriceps muscles. And as you bend, you're engaging the muscles here in the back of the thigh. Those are your hamstring muscles. So it's like you're trying to pull your heel underneath the chair. So let's do a few more of these. This is really good for these thigh muscles. Breathing in and breathing out. And the next time you have your knee bent, bring your toes to the floor so that you're stretching the bottom of your toes, right? And then slide that foot back a little bit. See if you can get that foot back. And then bring your knee down toward the floor a little bit more. So breathe in and breathe out, sit up nice and tall. And we're going to alternately draw the heel to the floor on that right side and then come up on the toes. So we're drawing the heel to the floor and then lifting up on the toes and breathing in and breathing out, slow, steady breath. So the breath is sort of the signal to the body that, that all is well, that there's nothing that we need to be worried about in this moment. There's no pain in this moment. So if this is painful, you might want to adjust your foot forward or back a little bit so that maybe you have a little discomfort, but you're not experiencing pain that makes your breath kind of catch. So just a couple more of these. Great. Last one. Excellent. We're going to end by extending that leg out. So we're going to hold the leg up, breathe in, breathe out. Keep squeezing the muscles here in that upper thigh. And then we're going to bend that knee and bring that foot to the floor. Okay, so take a moment. Notice right side, left side. Is there a difference? What do you feel? What are you aware of? Maybe it's in your lower leg or your knee or your upper leg. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So left leg now. Extend and bend and breathe. So nice, slow, steady breaths. And you might notice, so when you extend, squeeze these muscles here in the front part of the thigh. And when you bend, see if you can squeeze the muscles here in the back part of the thigh. So again, the muscles in the front part of the thigh, those are your quadriceps muscles. Those are responsible for helping you get up and down from a chair, from going up and down stairs. And then your hamstring muscles. Hamstring muscles are important for walking. Hamstring muscles are actually important for going up and down stairs as well. So breathing in and breathing out. Next time you bend, you're going to bring your toes to the floor. So you're stretching the bottom of your toes and then walk or slide that foot underneath a little bit. I'm going to bring mine out to the side because I've got a little bar there. So as you come down, press your knee down toward the floor. And then we're going to lift the heel and lower the heel. Breathing in and breathing out. So we're getting that movement here in this leg that same thing that we did on the other side. So coming up on the toes and then going down to the heel. Now for some people, you're going to feel it in your leg. Other people are going to feel it in the bottom of your foot, your toes. You might feel it down into your heel, even into your shin, say, or your calf. So there's all different places we might be feeling this, depending on what's going on in the body at this particular time. So just 2 more of these. Great. Okay, and then we're going to take that foot and we're going to extend that leg out in front, engaging the muscles here. So we've really got these muscles nice and strong. Breathe in, breathe out, sitting up nice and tall. And then bend that knee and bring the foot to the floor. Good, take a moment here. Notice right side, left side. Okay, so let's shift over to the right side of the chair. So you're gonna scoot way over so that your right cheek is kind of hanging off the chair a little bit. You can hold on to the left side. Keep your left foot underneath your knee. So in other words, you don't want it way out here or kind of back there. You want to have it right underneath your knee. And we're going to shift the weight into that left sitting bone just a little bit, and then lift your right leg up and start to circle around at your hip. Breathe in and breathe out. Now this can be pretty challenging, especially if you've got a little arthritis or bursitis in your hip. But you want to go slow, and you want to honor where your body is at. So if this is painful, you know, you can keep your foot on the floor and do little circles like this. You don't necessarily have to lift that foot up off the floor. Now, if you're going in one direction, which I've been doing, let's reverse it up. Let's go the other way. Breathe in, breathe out. Great. And then we're going to bring that foot right back down to the floor. Okay, so take a moment. We just sort of warm things up a little bit here. So now what we're going to do is pretend on this right side that we've got a little bit of a wall here, right? So there's a little bit of a wall. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to lift your right foot up and go over that wall and place it on the other side, right? So again, you got a little bit of a wall here. It's maybe 8 inches or 6 inches, or if you're feeling pretty limber this morning, maybe it's 10 inches. So we're just going to lift that foot up and bring it back over to the inside of the wall. And we're going to go back and forth. Now hold on to your chair if that's comfortable. What we don't want to do is lean the body in order to get the leg up, right? We want to keep the body upright. Breathing in and breathing out. Now the slower you go, the more challenging this is, but the more you're going to get out of this movement. Just a couple more of these. That looks really good. Okay, and then the next time that we have the leg on the outside of the wall, we're going to pause here, and then we're just going to walk that foot out as far as it will go. Now don't turn your body in the direction of that leg. We're going to keep the body oriented to the left here. So with your foot and knee kind of out to this side, engage the muscles here in the back side, or the outside of your leg and the outside of your hip, and pull that knee toward the wall behind you. And then relax and kind of let the knee come forward a little bit. And then we're going to pull it back and relax. So we're just going to continue to do this nice and slow and steady. For me, if I take both hands and put it on my left thigh, that just reminds me not to turn in this direction, because it's really easy to forget and to turn in that direction, especially if you've got a hip issue. You make compensations to allow yourself to move more freely in the world, and you're not even aware of these compensations. So just a couple more of these. We're pulling that knee back and relaxing, pulling the knee back and relaxing. One more time. Great. And then let's pull that knee back, and we're going to hold it there. We're going to use the toes and kind of scoot that foot out, extending the leg. Okay, so when you get your leg extended, have your heel on the floor and lift your toes up. You're still facing me. You're still facing this left side. Okay, now we're going to take that the right hand, and we're going to bring it down the right leg. Just going to lean into that right side. See if you can reach down like you could grab your toes, and then come up. Don't let this left shoulder roll forward. So in other words, you don't want to twist. You want to keep your spine in this nice upright position. So when you're leaning, you're actually leaning into that side. That looks great, everybody. So if you can, take your left arm and sweep it up as you lean into that side, and breathe. Now, if your arm doesn't feel like it wants to do that this morning, maybe you bring your hand to your shoulder. If that's too much like that, you can even just keep your hand on your waist. That's okay. So it really depends on what you've got happening in your body this morning, what feels good. And the next time that you lean into that right side, we're going to hold here and breathe. Now take your left hand straight up toward the ceiling. So some of you are reaching over here to the side. I want you to bring it straight up to the ceiling if you can. If you can't get it straight up to the ceiling, that's okay. So just do the best you can. What we're trying to do is lengthen this left side of the body, even as we're reaching into the right side of the body. Breathing in and breathing out. That's the most important thing you guys can do, is breathe in and breathe out. And then let's take that hand down and we're going to come all the way back up. Great. Take your right foot now and point the toes. So you're trying to bring the toes right down to the floor. So sometimes you can get your toes on the floor. Sometimes you can't get the toes on the floor. Everybody's a little bit different. It's okay. So we're going to take that left hand, bring it to your chair. And now we're going to lean left. Keep your toes anchored to the floor though. So we're trying to get a stretch through this right side of the body and then back up. Breathe in and out. So coming up with that right arm, if that feels okay for you this morning. Once again, you can make a modification. If that doesn't work for you, you can bring your hand to your shoulder, maybe lift your elbow. You can just let that hand kind of trail along your leg, maybe come up that way. So it just depends on what you've got going on in your shoulder this morning. We want to honor that. Good. Got to respect the body, right? Always respect the body. Discomfort is okay. We need to move into discomfort. If we don't, we never improve our flexibility, but we definitely don't want to ever move into pain. So next time we lean into that left side, let's stay here and breathe and take that right arm straight up. So I know some of you really got a good stretch with the arm over here to the left, but I'm going to ask you to go straight up. And as you go straight up, see if you can lift up as if you could touch something up there on the ceiling. And see if you can breathe all at the same time. And with your next inhale, we're going to come all the way back up. Beautiful job, you guys. Okay, let's give that knee, that right knee, a little bit of a bend. Use your heel and your toes. We're going to walk that foot all the way back around. And as the foot comes around, we're going to scoot back to the center of the chair. We're going to take that right knee and cross it right on top of the left one. So as always, if knee on knee doesn't work for you, you can always cross here at the ankle. I'm going to do the knee on top of knee on this side. So engage the muscles of your inner thighs, press your inner thighs together. And as you do, if you've got your knee on top of your knee, what you'll notice is your right foot starts to get closer to your left leg, right? So when you squeeze those inner thighs together, that's what happens. Take both hands to that top knee. Lift and lengthen through your spine. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, come forward from your hips like you're trying to bring your belly button out past your knee, right? So come forward a bit and then come up. Breathing in and breathing out. So here's the whole thing. So we're squeezing the inner thighs together. We're breathing in and breathing out. We're hinging forward from the hips. So you're not trying to bring your nose to your knee, but you're trying to bring your navel to your knee. Right? So that's a little different feeling in the body. The next time that you're leaning forward, I'm going to ask you to hold here and breathe. See if you can get a little longer in your spine. Take your left arm, reach it forward like you could reach right through the screen, right at me. So bring your fingers like you're trying to reach right toward me. Breathe in, breathe out. Beautiful. Can you get a little bit longer? Are you still squeezing your inner thighs together? Are you still breathing? And then come all the way back up. Excellent. Let's slide this leg so the ankle is now crossed on top of the knee. Once again, if this doesn't work for you, you're going to cross right here, ankle on top of ankle. That's absolutely fine. So for those who have ankle on top of knee, take both hands to your shin. As you bring both hands to your shin, pull your shoulders back, like you can bring your shoulder blades together, and notice how your chest comes forward a bit, right? Breathing in and breathing out. Now, if this is enough of a stretch for you, so in other words, if from your big toe to your hip, somewhere in that area, you're feeling enough sensation that you're comfortable to stay right here where you are, don't lean forward. If you need a little bit more, if you're saying, wow, I could probably do with a little bit more of a stretch in there or a little bit more of a stretch in here, then just lean forward slightly. Again, like you're trying to bring your navel past your shin, right? So here, like for me, I have maybe 10 degrees that I can go forward. I can't go a lot farther forward than that on this side. I'm getting into that pain realm in my poor little knee here. So I don't want to push that. So investigate that. You can go forward and back a few times. And the big key to knowing when you're going beyond your threshold of discomfort and into pain is to watch your breath. So when I get into discomfort, when I get to this position, for me, I have to really stop and focus on my breathing. If I go any farther than that, it's going to be very hard for me to take a deep breath because pain makes us hold our breath. So when you find that spot where you're just on that edge a little bit, I'm going to ask you to stay there and hold and consciously deepen your breathing. So again, if you're like me, when you get to a certain level of discomfort, your breath starts to get a little shallow and you have to pause and really focus on getting those full deep breaths in. And that's what we're going to do here, is we're going to get those full deep breaths going in and out of the body. That changes your relationship to pain. That changes your relationship to discomfort. Most of us don't want to be in that uncomfortable place, right? We always gravitate toward the places that are easy. But what I'm suggesting is we can be in those places that are uncomfortable and change our breath and have a different experience. So breathing in and breathing out. And slowly coming all the way up out of that. Good. I'm going to lean back slightly. Now take your hands off your shin and we're going to bring the hands around the back of this thigh. So even if you're crossed on your ankle, we're just going to uncross that leg and I want you to hold on to the back of your thigh, pull your shoulders back and down and lift up through your chest. So pull your belly in a little bit and we're going to extend and bend this knee. So we're getting it's a little bit more of a challenge here. Breathe in, breathe out. If this is too much, you can just lower your leg and bend and extend without holding. So just 2 more if you can. We're really engaging these muscles in the thigh, the front of the thigh, the back of the thigh as we're doing this. And last one. Great. Let's bring that leg all the way down to the floor. Let's give it a little bit of a massage. All right, and then let's extend both legs, point your toes, bring your feet down, and then have a look at your legs. Look if your right leg is longer than your left leg. So we just did a whole bunch of work on that side, on that right side to kind of open things up. So quite likely for many of you, you're going to notice a difference. Your right big toe is going to be a lot farther out than your left. All right, so let's shift over to that left side. So once again, get right up near the edge of your chair, like your left cheek is kind of half on, half off, and your right foot now is underneath your knee. Okay, so hold on to the right side of your chair, lift up through your spine. We're just going to take this left leg and make some really gentle circles here, right? So see if you can do this and maintain the integrity of your spine, meaning we're sitting up nice and tall. And at some point, we're going to reverse the direction, going round and round. Great. And then let's bring that foot back down to the floor. So just like we did on the other side, imagine on this side, like right outside the leg, there's a little wall there. It's about a 8-inch wall. I'll go like 8-inch wall here. You can go higher or lower depending on your on what you'd like to do this morning. So what we're going to do is lift that leg up, take that foot, bring it over that wall and to the outside of the wall. And then we're going to lift it up and bring it back to the inside. Now you might notice that this is what we tend to do, right? Or we tend to lean. See if you can maintain the integrity of your spine as you lift and bring that foot to the inside of the wall and to the outside of the wall. Breathing in and breathing out. So we're asking a lot of the hips this morning. Okay, and the next time your foot is on the outside of the wall, we're going to hold here and then using your heel and your toes, Walk that foot back behind you as far as it will go. Now make sure you don't drift that way. If you take both hands to your right thigh, press down and lean, lift up rather, you'll stay forward. So just as we did on the other side, we're going to engage the muscles here in the outside of this left hip, the outside of the thigh, and we're going to pull that knee toward the wall behind us. And then relax. And pull the knee back and relax. And let's breathe as we do this. So inhaling and exhaling, pulling the knee behind, and then releasing. Breathe in, breathe out. Nice. Couple more. The next time you have your knee pulled behind you, let's hold it here just for a breath or two. Whew. And then release that. Great. Let's use the toes. We're going to kind of wiggle or slide that foot out. When your foot gets out, bring the heel to the floor, lift the toes up toward the shin. Check in, make sure you're still oriented toward your right knee, not toward your left leg. And we're going to take that left hand down the leg, and we're just going to lean into that left side, reaching down toward your toes, and then coming up. So again, think about keeping this right shoulder open. So don't let that right shoulder roll forward. If you'd like to add that right arm, that certainly makes it a little more challenging for us to come up and over. You can do that. Breathing in and breathing out. It really doesn't matter, by the way, when you inhale and when you exhale, as long as your breath is smooth, right? So what I mean by that is you don't get to a place where you hold your breath. You let the breath move in and out freely. So breathing in, breathing out. Great. Next time you lean into that left side, let's hold here. Let's take that right arm, go straight up if you can. Okay, so straight up. If straight up doesn't work, you can have the arm out here. You can even bend your elbow and do it that way. So just notice what challenges your shoulder in just the right way. Okay, what challenges the shoulder in just the right way? We don't want to challenge it too much, but we also don't want to stay in that comfort zone, right? Comfort zone, not necessarily a good place to exist all the time. It's like having birthday cake every day of the week. That sounds like it would be a good idea, but it's really not. Next inhale, let's come all the way up. Beautiful. Let's take that hand to the chair. Good. And now we're going to point the toes of the left foot. So see if you can get your toes a little closer to the floor and really actively engage these leg muscles. Now we're going to be leaning into that right side, okay? And then coming back up. And just like we did on the other side, if you'd like, you can raise your left arm up and then bring it back down. Working with whatever you've got going on that side of your body. If your shoulder does not allow you to come all the way up with the arm, you can have your hand on your shoulder, maybe lift just the elbow, or you can lift the arm just a little bit of the way, or you can just kind of let the arm trail. That's absolutely fine. So the next time we lean, we're going to hold here. We're going to take that left hand straight up toward the ceiling. Now reach up. There's something up there you want. Reach for it. Reach for it. You can get it. Breathing in, breathing out. One more breath. And then let's slowly come all the way back up. Beautiful. Relax that arm. Now we're going to relax that knee. Bend using your heel and your toes. Walk the foot around. Scoot your backside to the center of your chair. And then on this side, we're going to do the same thing, crossing knee on top of knee. Once again, if that doesn't work for you, if knee on top of knee is not a good thing for you, you can cross ankle on top of ankle, okay? So squeeze those inner thighs together, and as you squeeze your inner thighs together, the left foot is going to move a little closer to that right leg. If you're crossed here at the ankle, what will happen is your knees will just come together. You'll be squeezing your knees together, right? So breathe in and breathe out. Take both hands to that top thigh, lengthen through your spine, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, you're hinging from the hips like you're trying to bring your navel out beyond your knee. And then come up. Okay, so that's the movement here. So you're squeezing the inner thighs together. You're breathing in and breathing out smooth and even. And you're hinging forward from the hips like you're trying to bring your navel out past your knees. Nice. And the next time that you lean forward, we're going to stay here. So we're lengthening through the spine. Let's take the right arm now. Reach it forward, straight out, like you're trying to touch your computer screen, trying to reach through that screen, right? Trying to reach right through that screen. Breathe in, breathe out. Your back is long, your breath is smooth. Your leg muscles are strong because you're squeezing those thighs together. And then release your hand. Let's come all the way up. Relax your legs. And now we're going to slide the ankle on top of the knee. Once again, this is your option. If you'd rather not do it that way, you can have your ankle on top of your ankle. So with your ankle on top of your knee, you're going to take both hands to that shin. Okay, pull back a little bit. So you're trying to pull your shoulder blades together and notice how the chest comes forward. Breathing in and breathing out. Once again, let's take a moment and just assess if from your toes to your hip or anywhere else, you are feeling the maximum sensation that you're comfortable with right now. Stay right where you are and deepen your breath. If you need a little bit more, if your body is saying, yeah, I could do with a little bit more of a stretch here, I'm just going to invite you to come forward slightly again in the same fashion like you're trying to bring your navel out past your shin. And explore that a little bit. So you can come forward and move back a little bit till you find that edge. If you remember on the other side, I was talking about moving into a place of discomfort. Discomfort is what changes things, right? If I get to a place of discomfort, I can either complain about it, I can move out of it, or I can embrace it and explore it. So right now, I'm in a place where I'm leaning forward and I've got a pretty good amount of discomfort here in my hip. And I'm going to stay with that. So I'm going to invite you to find that edge for yourself, right? So maybe you come forward and you feel it in the groin, or you feel it in the knee, or you feel it in the lower leg. Maybe you feel a little bit in your back. So as long as it's discomfort and not pain, and you can tell, because if you're having pain, it's going to be very difficult to breathe. If you're having discomfort, it's going to be a little challenging to breathe. You're going to have to think about it a little bit. So stay in that place of discomfort. Deepen your breathing. And notice how that changes your relationship to that discomfort. Breathing in and breathing out changes your relationship to discomfort because it allows you to respond rather than react. And let's face it, most of us react when we feel something that's a little unpleasant. So while it doesn't change the unpleasantness or the discomfort, it changes your relationship to it. And then let's slowly sit all the way back up. Great. Relax your leg a little bit. You can take both hands behind that left thigh, and then you're going to take that leg and extend and bend. Now, if this is too much to hold on to your thigh and extend and bend that knee, you can always just bring the leg down and do it that way. So see if you can keep your back straight, your belly strong. Great. How about two more? I think we can get two more out of this. Great. And then we're going to bring that foot all the way down to the floor. Give that leg a little bit of a massage because it just did a whole bunch of work. Great. And then let's extend both of those legs again. Point your toes, look down there. Hopefully your legs are the same length. Okay, so let's relax those legs, maybe bend the knees, have the feet comfortably underneath you. So we've done an awful lot of work in the hips and the legs this morning, kind of working those big muscles in the body. That's what tends to heat us up a little bit. So I like to start, get right into those nice big leg and hip muscles before moving on to the arm muscles when the weather gets a little bit chillier. So let's take the hands now. We're gonna just extend and bend the fingers because we're moving into this other realm, right? So we're going up to the upper extremities now, and then let's circle at the wrists. Breathing in and breathing out and noticing all that lovely movement that's available at the wrists, and then let's circle the other way. All right, and then let's take the hands together. So heels of the hands all the way up to the fingers. Press them together really strong, right? And we're going to bring the arms all the way up. See if you can get your elbows closer, and then come all the way down. Keep the heels of your hands together as you bring the arms down. So we're breathing in and breathing out, going up and coming down. So when you go up, get your elbows as close together as they'll go. Some of you will be able to touch your elbows. Some of us are just, we're not quite there, and that's okay. Maybe someday I'll get my elbows together. Maybe someday I won't, and that's okay. I'm doing the best I can here. That's what the objective is to just do the best you can. We're all working in that same direction, right? Toward improvement. Breathing in and breathing out. Great. Last time, we're going to come up and come all the way down. Excellent. And then relax your hands. Let's take the backs of the hands. See if you can bring the backs of the hands together, right? So breathe in, breathe out. Now notice, did you bring your shoulders way up here when you did that? Can you bring your shoulders down? Now keeping the backs of your hands together as best you can. See if you can lift your arms and then lower, right? So we're lifting. Try to lift the arms and not the shoulder tops, if that makes sense, right? So we're lifting just the arms and not the shoulder tops. Couple more of these. Great. Last one. Lifting and lowering. Great. Let's circle those wrists around a little bit. All right, now we're going to bring the arms out to the sides at shoulder height. Stretch your fingers, palms facing up. So you're trying to touch the right wall and the left wall simultaneously. And then we're just going to bend and tap the shoulders and extend. So breathe in and breathe out, bending and extending. Good. Couple more of these. And then the next time that you tap your shoulders, instead of going back out, we're going to go up overhead. So press up and come down, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Press up, come down and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Right? So it's like you're trying to press into the roof, keeping those palms lifted. Couple more. Great. And now we're going to weave all of this together. So the next time your hands come down, instead of going up, we're going to go out. We're going to bend the elbows, and then we're going to go up and pull the shoulder blades together and come up and out and bend, go up. Beautiful. And now breathe as you do all of this, right? Last time, we're going to go all the way through, bending, extending, pull the shoulder blades together. Let's pause here with the shoulder blades pulled together. So imagine getting those elbows a little bit closer back there. And then relax your arms, let them come down, let them just kind of hang by your sides, maybe move them around a little bit. Let's take the right arm now, we're going to sweep it up and around. So you might start small. You might start with the arm kind of down here. Maybe you got that range of motion available that you can go all the way up. Now notice, did you start by going forwards or backwards? There's no right or wrong. It's just, what is your preference? It's nice to notice what your preference is for things, right? Breathing in and breathing out. Now the next time that your arm is down toward the floor, this is when you're going to reverse the direction of your circles. So if you were a backwards going person, now you're a forwards going person. If you were a forward going person, now you're a backward going person. Breathe in, breathe out. Great. And then the next time that arm comes down, instead of breaching it up, let's bring it right to the lap. And then let's go to the other side. So same thing. Just circling around. And this is also a good time to notice a couple things. Does this arm work the same way as the other one? In other words, is your range of movement the same or is it different? Are you circling forwards or backwards on this side? Is it the same as the other side, or did you switch it up? Maybe you didn't even do it consciously. The next time your arm is down toward the floor, this is a good time to reverse. So we're going to go back around the other way. Breathing in, breathing out. I didn't mention this on the other side, but maybe you've got a little noise in there. Yeah, so just notice that. And I know I've said this in the past, noise without pain is generally okay. So shoulders can tend to be a little bit noisy. Okay, next time that arm comes down, let's just kind of hold it here. Great. So let's bring the shoulders up toward the ears, down, back, and around. We're circling just the shoulders now. Up and around, back and down. Good. Okay. Now, just for fun, we're going to take that right arm, we're going to circle it forward. Okay, got that right arm going forward. You're doing half a crawl right now, half the English crawl. Let's add the other side. So if you all remember your swimming lessons, right? The English crawl. So the arms are going in the same direction, but they're going at a different frequency or a different rate. Actually, no, they're going at the same rate. They're going, it's called syncopation. One is going forward while the other one is going kind of back. So we're going in the same direction, forward, right? You're swimming forward. There you go. Okay, now we're going to do the backstroke. So at some point, we're going to switch it up. So now those arms are going back. This is a challenge for the shoulders, right? Breathe in, breathe out. That looks great. Okay, now let the arms rest for a moment. So notice what that sensation was like in your arms and shoulders. Just kind of breathe into what you're feeling here right now. And these are movements that you've probably done since you were a kid. If you're a swimmer, if you ever did swimming lessons or you ever swam anywhere, I'm sure you've done these movements. So now we're going to switch it up a little bit and challenge the brain to something that maybe you're not used to doing or haven't done for a while. So we're going to take that right arm and sweep it forward, up and around, right? So here's your half English crawl. And at the same time you're doing an English crawl on the right side, I'm going to invite you to do a backstroke on the left side. So as that right arm comes forward, the left arm goes backwards. Okay, so the arms are not going in the same direction. They're actually going in opposite directions. So notice, I can see some of you are doing the same direction. So breathe in and breathe out. You can always start over, right? And then at some point, let's switch it up. So the left side is going to go forward. So you're doing the crawl on the left side, and we're going to do the backstroke on the right side. So the left arm comes forward and the right arm goes backward. Now, if you look, when your arms kind of bypass each other in the front, one should be going up and the other should be going down. If they're both going up or they're both going down, then you haven't quite got it. Yeah. This is kind of fun, right? It's challenging the brain. The brain is having a hard time with this for some of us. Okay, and then let's just kind of relax all of that. Whew. Take a moment now. Notice your arms and shoulders. And notice the connection with your brain in your arms and shoulders, right? So your brain is still reviewing what the heck was that we just did. This is just kind of weird. And it might be making you feel like a little off kilter, right? Because we just did something that the brain is not used to. So let's take the hands together again at the heart. And we're going to extend the arms out in front. Turn your palms up. And then bring your arms behind you as far back as they'll go. Like you could touch your thumbs back there, right? And then come back around. Palms together and into your heart. So we're just going to do this movement. Breathing in and breathing out. Great. So now the arms, instead of going up overhead, they're going out to the sides. We're stretching the chest, we're stretching the upper back, stretching the front of the shoulders. This can get a little bit stuck when we do activities that kind of challenge that shoulder mobility. Breathing in, breathing out. Great, just a couple more. Great, last one and all the way back. Terrific. Now take your right arm, bring it forward. Take your left arm, pull it back. So it's like you're It's like you're almost stringing a bow. And then we're going to switch sides. So we're going to the left is in front and the right is in back. So we're going back and forth. Now also change your hand position. So when you come forward, you have your palm. And when you go back, it's like you're pulling back. So you make a little handle, right? So breathe in, breathe out. Great. Excellent. Couple more. Excellent. Last one. And release all of that. Okay. So let's challenge ourselves a little bit more now. We're going to bring the upper body and the lower body into a sort of a rhythm here this morning. So at the time that you're going to take your right arm, you're going to extend it out. And then you're going to take your left arm, you're going to pull it back. And you're going to extend your left leg, right? Breathe in, breathe out. So we're going to switch. So we extend the left arm, pull the right arm back, and extend the right leg. So we're going back and forth, right? So the arm that's pulled back corresponds with the leg that's extended. Slow and steady, right? So you don't get points for speed here. You actually get points for going slow. When you extend your legs, squeeze the muscles here in the thigh so that you really feel that in the leg. The next time that you're here, pause, right? So we're just going to pause. Doesn't matter which side. So we're just pausing here and breathing. And then release that. Go to the other side and pause and breathe. Okay, we're going to do that one more time on each side with a little bit of a twist. So let's go back to that first side and turn and look out over that back shoulder. And then come forward. Same thing on the other side. And then come forward. Nice job. Relax. Breathe. Notice your shoulders. Notice your arms, your legs. Notice your knees. We've done a little bit of work for the knees today. Always a good thing. And then open your eyes. We're going to do one more little movement series before our meditation. So bring your feet a little wider than your hips. 6 movements of the spine, essential for mobility and flexibility and good communication between your brain and the rest of your body. So what we're going to do here is bring the chin to the chest, bring the nose to the navel, and bring the forehead to the floor, and then come all the way up. So once again, chin to chest, nose to navel, forehead to floor, and come all the way up. One more time. I'm going to bring the chin to the chest, nose to navel, forehead to floor, and come all the way up. Great. Okay. So now let's lean to the right side a little bit. We did some of this side bending before, and then we're going to lean to the left side a little bit. So we're just going back and forth. Now, as you go back and forth, think about bringing your ear to your shoulder to your hip. So as I go to the left, I'm bringing my ear to my shoulder to my hip. As I go to the right, same thing. I'm bringing my ear to my shoulder to my hip. Breathing in and breathing out. Beautiful. Coming straight back up. We're going to end with a little bit of a twist. So turn your head to the right. Look out over your right shoulder. Turn your shoulders. Turn your upper back, your mid back, and your lower back, and look as far back there as you can. Breathing in and breathing out. And then slowly unwind. Let's come back around to the center. Turn and look out over that left shoulder. Turn your shoulders, upper back, mid back, lower back. And then slowly come back around. So we always want to do the 6 movements of the spine kind of in that order. You always want to have twisting be the last thing you do because you want to get the flexibility in the rest in the other move through the other movements of your spine first. So make yourself comfortable. You can sit back into your chair if you'd like. Close your eyes. And let your hands rest on your lap. So you can either have your hands together or they can be apart. Whatever configuration your hands are in, let them be relaxed. So in other words, don't be grasping your hands or clasping your hands. You want to just have them be as relaxed as possible. Breathing in and breathing out, notice your breath. And start to deepen your breathing. As you inhale, fill your body as if you were filling an empty balloon. And as you exhale, empty your body as if you were releasing air from that balloon. Long, slow, deep breaths in and out. As you're breathing, relax your jaw and your neck. Relax your shoulders and your arms. Relax your hands and fingers. Relax your chest and your back, your belly and your low back. Breathing in and breathing out, release tension in your hips and your thighs, your knees, your lower legs, your feet and toes. Feel your whole body completely relaxed right now. Going back to the breath, make each breath in a little bit longer and each breath out a little bit slower. So every breath in takes a little bit longer and every breath out moves a little bit more slowly. As you're breathing in and out with your body relaxed, notice your thoughts. Notice if your thoughts are about the future or about the past. And know that you can only have thoughts that exist either in the future or in the past. You can't have a thought in this moment because this moment is right now. And as soon as you have a thought, that moment has passed. And if you anticipate the next moment, then you're in the future. Breathing in and breathing out. Take your hands up to your heart. Just let your hands rest here on your chest for a moment. As you breathe in and out, see if you can fill the space underneath your hands. Feel your hands rising and falling with every breath. Let's take a deep breath in together, let it out with a sigh. And then pausing for just a moment in gratitude to yourself for your wisdom, your light, your compassion, and eternal beauty, for the gifts of your life, those that you have worked hard for and those that you have been given. And when you're ready, just opening your eyes. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody. So good to see you all.